Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for my review of Season 15, Episode 18, Return to Primeval's Eye. The ninja retrieved the bounty and their other vehicles from the police officers who had previously impounded them. Back at Primeval's Eye, Lloyd and Ruby venture through the jungle, very similar to how they did in Season 8, and they get stuck in quicksand at some point. Eventually, the other Crystal Council members come flying in on these random dragon-like creatures, and they almost retrieve Ruby but are unable to. Ruby chases Lloyd to the cliff where the bounty comes and engages in a battle with the Crystal Council, and they're able to rescue Lloyd, but they realize they're not at all prepared for the upcoming fight. This episode was a great parallel to episode 80 of season 8, where Lloyd and Ruby first ventured into Primeval's Eye. Of course, the dynamic is totally different here. Lloyd and Ruby totally hate each other, and this episode really leads into that. I love their interactions here. I love seeing Lloyd tell her that she's just full of hate and anger and all these other bad qualities. We're not really seeing him fall victim to her manipulation here, and he's able to call it out too. I like how they exchange the sword and how that's kind of like signifying who has the power. Also, I just really like Ruby's new design change. I love how her eyes are purple now. It just makes her feel more evil, I guess. It's a small change, but it's one that I especially like. This episode isn't a huge change or development for the characters. It's more so a reinforcement of who they are and what their traits are, and that itself is good too. As for other stuff, we see these crystal beast creatures appear, and they just kind of come out of nowhere, but they're pretty cool. And we see them a lot more in the coming episodes as well. I like how the season is continuing to use the Crystal Council as villains. I feel like they've done a good job of making sure that they're playing a role in this season, and the fights are consistently great throughout this episode, especially at the end with the bounty and the ninja vehicles and the crystal creatures. I love the ending shot of this episode with the Game of Masks music and the bounty just kind of lifting away as Ruby runs away. It's definitely an ominous ending, and a great reminder that the final battle is still yet to come. I also enjoy the beginning of this episode where the ninja take back their vehicles. I like Zeta Wu's conversation about breaking the law and how we kind of see Wu's development. Of course, he was opposed to the ninja freeing Asphira, but now we see he is willing to go against the police to do what's right. I like that this episode makes Lloyd and Ruby's relationship a bit more clear. The last episode was definitely more ambiguous as to why Ruby wanted Lloyd to join the Crystal King or why Lloyd took Ruby off the temple with them. This episode, as I said, makes it clear that they do dislike each other, and this dynamic is definitely good for now. I feel like on a more nitpicky level, the season still hasn't justified a reason for Ruby's return. Yeah, we've seen a lot of good stuff with her, but nothing too game-changing yet. And I'm still confused as to why Ruby's back. In these last two episodes, Ruby's definitely gotten better, but I do feel like the season still hasn't done anything too major with her yet. The plot of this episode is solid. It's a nice kind of redo of the Season 8 Primeval's Eye episode, but of course, everything is different now. For characters, Ruby and Lloyd definitely stand out here. Despite whatever concerns I have about Ruby this season, so far, their interactions are really good, and it's fun to see them interact as characters. The action is great here. The fight at the end of the episode with the bounty and the flying crystal monsters is great. I lost the emotion. I love Lloyd and Ruby's interactions, as I said. I love how we see Lloyd refer to Ruby as evil and hateful, and how she calls Lloyd gullible and trusting, and I feel like we learn more about these characters through these interactions. This episode gets a 9.5 out of 10 from me. So far, I enjoy the story they're telling with these two characters. As long as they avoid redeeming Ruby or bringing back La Ruby, then we'll be fine. And then the story will be pretty good. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone and everyone you know. Share your thoughts on episode 18 below, and I'll see you guys next time.